Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Alan Leyva.
And I'm Elise Linares.
The Pentagon has requested an additional $200 billion to fund the war with Iran, a proposal that will require approval from Congress and is likely to face scrutiny. While Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not confirm the exact amount, he acknowledged the need for more funding and said the administration would work with Congress to secure it. Hegseth says it takes money to kill bad guys.
The UK is denouncing what it called Iran's reckless attacks after ballistic missiles were fired toward the joint US-UK Diego Garcia military base in the Indian Ocean. Meanwhile, Tehran says US and Israel have struck Natanz uranium enrichment facility. Israel says that the US and Israeli strikes on Iran will increase significantly this week, despite President Trump saying he is considering winding down the US military efforts in the Middle East.
At least 10 Palestinians are recovering after settler attacks across the occupied West Bank, following the funeral of an Israeli settler killed in a car crash a day earlier. The Palestinian Red Crescent says victims in Deir al-Hatab included a man shot in a foot and a woman suffering from smoke inhalation. Videos show homes and cars set on fire near villages east of Nablus. The Israeli military said to detain 5 Israeli civilians and seize weapons while responding to the violence. The United Nations reports at least 25 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli settlers and Israeli forces so far this year.
Wayne County is charging former Detroit Police Sergeant Benjamin Wagner with 5 felony counts involving kidnapping and sexual assault. The alleged victims were between 15 and 23 years old at the time of the assaults. Prosecutors say the case reflects a long effort to achieve justice, highlighting the importance of collaboration and a survivor-focused approach.
President Trump is under criticism after he made a remark as the Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi of Japan visited the White House. While discussing military strategy, Trump joked about surprise invoking Pearl Harbor, which many in Japan saw as insensitive given its historical significance. The remark sparked backlash and concern, with some criticizing the use of a painful historical event for humor and others worrying if it could strain U.S. and Japan relations.
Senate Republicans are voting to advance the debate on the Save America Act, a controversial election year bill backed by President Trump and conservative lawmakers. The legislation would require a photo ID to vote, proof of citizenship for registration, and would mandate that states share voter rolls with the Department of Homeland Security to remove suspected non-citizens. Democrats oppose the bill but lack enough support to block it outright, setting up a prolonged and contentious debate.
Cesar Chavez's institutions are distancing themselves from his legacy as a labor unionist and political activist after sexual abuse allegations surfaced. A California State University Fresno statue is now covered and will be removed, while other locations across the U.S. bearing his name are reconsidering or removing it. In Denver, a bus was taken down and plans were announced to rename a park, reflecting a broader reevaluation of Chavez's public honors.
Robert Mueller, the former U.S. special counsel who led the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, has died at age 81. The cause of death has not been disclosed, but his family confirmed he passed away Friday night and are requesting privacy. Mueller also served as the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from 2001 to 2013, beginning just before the September 11th attack. During his time at the Bureau, he played a key role in transforming the FBI into a modern, counterterrorism-focused agency.
While the U.S. economy has appeared resilient in recent years, many Americans are continuing to struggle financially, and the war with Iran is likely to deepen that divide. Despite that resilience, everyday Americans are feeling the strain. Gas prices have surged, and increases in food, electricity, and housing costs are likely to follow. These rising costs are hitting households already dealing with debt, reduced savings, and a weakening job market. Economists warn that continued price increases could significantly worsen financial hardship for many families.
Gas prices are crazy right now. I'm really missing the old prices.
I know, I used to pay $80 for gas, now I'm like over $100.
That's
ridiculous.
Crazy. Wow. Our very own Robert Saints went to see how others are feeling about gas prices. Let's take a look.
It doesn't matter what gas station Californians pull into these days. Gas prices are high everywhere you look. and it seems that it's not going to get better anytime soon, leaving public transportation as the most affordable choice for many Californians.
These gas prices, they are horrible. They just pretty much skyrocket through the roof. I went from filling up my gas tank from $80 to like $200 overnight, which is crazy because I still have to handle groceries, I still have to pay rent, I still have to, just make it through the week.
Although some Californians are struggling at the gas pump, others don't seem to be bothered by high gas prices. They see gas as a necessity that must be covered, even if they have to cut back on other less important expenses.
There's no doubt that gas is super expensive, but it's a necessity, so people have to pay for it. We have places to go, work, you gotta pick up your kids from school. People could try and move their expenses around, but what are your options really? Public transportation is something you could do, but it's time consuming and there's a lot of variables.
As high gas prices continue to affect commuters, many feel they don't have a choice but to bear the high cost. Reporting from the streets of Los Angeles, I am Robert Saints for Valley View News. Now back to you in the studio.
Mortgage rates in the U.S. are rising for the third straight week, with the average 30-year fixed rate reaching 6.22%, the highest since December. The increase is largely driven by the Middle East conflict, which has pushed up oil and gas prices, fueling inflation concerns and raising Treasury yields that influence mortgage rates. Rising energy costs and increasing construction expenses and builder confidence is already low due to the economic uncertainty.
TSA security lines are getting longer as federal immigration officers are being deployed to airports across the country. Major hubs in cities like Atlanta, New York, and Houston are now seeing wait times of more than 4 hours. TSA workers are going without pay after the funding for the Department of Homeland Security was halted last month. As a result, travelers are facing major delays and disruptions. Now in its 6th week, the shutdown shows no clear end, with no agreement between the Department of Homeland Security and Congress has been reached.
The National Shortage of Transportation Security Administration had passengers wait in line for hours at the New York LaGuardia Airport. The TSA crisis had a partial government shutdown, which caused thousands of employees to quit because of working without pay. After these employees left, a few agents were still working during this crisis, being described as a one-person doing job. President Trump says it's unknown if he'll send out ICE agents to help out this crisis or make it worse.
LAUSD teachers are going on strike in hopes of getting better wages. These strikes are taking place during school hours, with workers including nurses, counselors, librarians, and other school faculty. If teachers walk out of the job, the strike can affect 42,000 of the school system students as well.
LAUSD educators and staff are seeking change and taking the picket lines. Our very own Habis Pascual gives us an inside look on what they are seeking.
Thank you, guys. I'm here in downtown Los Angeles, where thousands of LAUSD teachers and staff are gathered here behind me at Grand Central Park, advocating for union workers to have better health benefits and better wages.
LAUSD educators and union representatives rallied in downtown LA, pressing the school board for fair contracts and warning district leaders of a possible strike.
We know that our school board and our district can afford to meet the needs of our educators and our students, and we want them to step up and do it now. We don't want to strike. We will if we have to.
UTLA and Local 99, together representing about 65,000 union members, are prepared to walk off the job if an agreement is not met by April 14th.
And I'm so happy that so many unions are joining us, and we're showing the district that we will shut them down. When we fight, we win.
LAUSD Acting Superintendent Andres Shade in a press conference said, "Strikes are not good for our students, they're not good for our schools, and they are not good for our families."
As teachers and staff advocate for these wages and benefits and sending a message to the LAUSD board members. Reporting from downtown Los Angeles, I'm Habis Pascual for Valley View News.
Coming up after the break, a look into sports and the weather conditions for the next weekend. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Valley View News. Hey, Alan, we have a lot of new movies dropping in theaters. Are you excited?
I am. I can't wait for all the Marvel movies coming out. Can't wait. We'll have more on movies soon. But first, celebrities and loved ones are mourning the death of Chuck Norris. Friends and family are sharing tributes on Instagram expressing gratitude for his life and legacy. Norris was surrounded by his wife and children in his final moments. Loved ones remember him as a man of faith and discipline and a symbol of strength for his family. Norris's daughter says he loved deeply and cared for every person in his life with tenderness.
BTS is breaking streaming records with their new album, Arrange. It's now the most streamed album of the year and the most streamed K-pop album of all time. News of the release had already sparked excitement among fans. Spotify says the album became one of the most pre-saved countdown pages in platform history with more than 5 million pre-saves.
The trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day is breaking records with more than 700 million views in its first 24 hours. The trailer features major reveals, including new villains and a new storyline that has fans excited. It also teases the appearances from the Hulk and Punisher. The film is expected to hit theaters on July 31st, with strong anticipation from fans.
The movie Project Hail Mary is bringing audiences to theaters in numbers close to the feature film Oppenheimer. The film stars Ryan Gosling and earned $80.5 million in its opening weekend at the box office. The sci-fi story follows a man who wakes up alone on a spaceship with little memory and must find a way to save the sun from dying. The film has topped the domestic box office, surpassing expectations.
With many exciting movies expected to come out this year, our very own Luka covers the opening weekend for the film Project Hail Mary.
A highly anticipated sci-fi adventure has officially landed in theaters this weekend. Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling, has already been earning strong reactions from both critics and audiences.
At the AMC Burbank 16, moviegoers walked out surprised by just how exciting and heartfelt the film turned out to be. Some even called it a must-see on the biggest screen possible.
Honestly, I just got out of it. I just watched it. It was amazing. It held my interest from start to finish. The shots were really good, like the VFX. It was really amazing. It's funny, emotional. You might cry. You definitely will laugh. Honestly, I enjoyed it the whole time.
While the film is getting rave reviews, its 2-hour and 36-minute runtime could make some people reluctant to head to the theater, but others see it differently.
Yeah, I just watched Hail Mary. It's a great movie, and it was great to watch on the big screen because it's visually very spectacular, but it's also very funny. It's a 2.5-hour movie, but there's so much going on that the time just flies by.
With strong buzz continuing to build, Project Hail Mary is already shaping up to be one of the year's biggest hits. Reporting from AMC Burbank 16, I'm Luka Chkhaidze, Valley View News.
Thank you, Luka. I can't wait to check out those movies. Elise, NBA playoffs are almost here.
I know, the season went by so fast.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all the action. For more on that, let's check in with Erick Mejia.
Thank you guys so much. It's good to be back on air, and it's good to talk about sports. It's good to talk about the NBA. Postseason basketball is around the corner, and the defending champs Oklahoma City Thunder hold the best record in the league yet again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is leading the MVP race, but he is followed closely by Luka Doncic after a strong stretch of wins by the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are looking to maintain their form and to hold on to the third seed in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Clippers are currently in position for the play-in tournament as they fight for a playoff spot. If they advance, they will most likely face either the Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs. The NCAA men's basketball tournament is underway, and the nickname fits. It's been madness so far, as the Sweet 16 is now set with plenty of surprises along the way. Over the weekend, top-seeded and defending champions Florida Gators were knocked out by the Iowa Hawkeyes after failing to get a shot off at the end of regulation. Freshman guard Darius Acuff Jr. also stood out, averaging 30 points per game alongside with his 6.5 assists. California is now without a team in the tournament after the UCLA Bruins, the California Baptist Lancers, St. Mary's Gales, and the Santa Clara Broncos were all eliminated. As the tournament continues, the Duke Blue Devils, Arizona Wildcats, and Michigan Wolverines are among the favorites to win it all. On the other side of the Sweet 16, women's college basketball continues to deliver with this year's tournament packed with exciting matchups. The UCLA Bruins are carrying California's hopes as the state's only team remaining. They showed their dominance with a 19-point win over the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Lauren Betts led the way with 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Bruins are looking to continue their run as they take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers women at the Golden One Center. The Major League Baseball season is underway. Following the World Baseball Classic where Venezuela defeated the United States in the final, attention is now shifting back to the MLB. The back-to-back champions Los Angeles Dodgers opened their season against the Arizona Diamondbacks on opening weekend. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Angels hit the road to take on the Houston Astros, looking to start their season strong. As North America prepares to host the FIFA World Cup, the final 2 spots are still up for grabs with semifinal and final matches set for this weekend. Bolivia and Suriname headlined the first matchup, with the winner advancing to face Iraq for a spot in the tournament. On the other side, New Caledonia will take on Jamaica, with the winner set to face the Democratic Republic of Congo for the final spot. Everything is on the line for a chance to be part of the world's biggest tournament. That's everything I have for sports. It's been good to be back. Back to you guys.
Wait, but before we go, do you have any favorite teams that you think are going to win it all?
Honestly, for the MLB, the Dodgers probably go back to back. I think in the basketball side of things, the Celtics, I think with Jason Tatum back, they're going to go to the final.
I don't know, Eric. I got to disagree. I think OKC is tough, but I guess only time will tell, right?
I guess time will tell. Detroit Pistons as well, with Kate Cunningham coming back. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, take it away, guys.
Thank you, Eric. With this hot weather, I'm so excited for it to cool down next week. What about you?
Yeah, I can't agree more. Looks like we might even get some rain.
Yeah, let's take a closer look with Luka.
Yes, well, thank you guys. The good news is that it's not going to be nearly as hot as last week. So let's take a look at the weather. Heading towards the valleys, it will be warmer with highs ranging from the mid-80s to the mid-90s during the weekend, with mostly clear skies with some fog during the nights. This weekend will be the hottest out of the whole week until it drops to the mid-70s early next week, with a surprise chance of rain expected on Wednesday. In the downtown area, we will see a bit of a cool down compared to last week. Highs will be in the mid to low 90s throughout the week with mostly sunny skies, and the lows will be around the mid-50s to the low 60s. But the highs will drop to the mid to high 70s starting early next week, with a chance of rain starting on Wednesday. Moving on towards the beaches, the weather will be much cooler, with highs ranging from the high 60s to the mid-70s. In the mornings, you will see some low clouds and fog, and then sunny skies later on in the afternoon. During the nights, there will be partly cloudy skies with lows dipping into the high 50s. Starting next Wednesday, expect some rain as well. Moving on to the Inland Empire. Expect highs between the mid-80s to low 90s, with the hottest days being Saturday and Sunday. Then the highs will range between the low to high 70s next week. Lows will be around the mid-50s to low 60s heading to the evenings and at night. On Wednesday, do expect some rain too. Now, if you're going outside this weekend, whether it's the beach or the park, make sure you wear appropriate clothes, a good amount of sunscreen, and make sure to stay hydrated because it will be hot. But don't worry, there will be some much needed rain on the way. And that's all I have for weather.
Thank you, Luka.
Thank you, Luka. I'll make sure to keep on that sunscreen. We have an interview with the poet and some lighter news coming up. Stay with us.
My name's Stacy. I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
He's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Valley View News. In honor of Women's History Month and with Poetry Month coming up in April, I had the chance to sit down with Russo Chkhaidze, who is actually the mother of our very own anchor, Luka. Let's take a look. I'm joined today with Russo Chkhaidze, who is a Georgian-American writer and poet, as well as a self-published author. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for the opportunity to talk about poetry today.
Yeah, of course. I'm super excited. I just want to begin with walking me through your journey into poetry, into writing, what inspired you.
So today, I believe that poetry is the sound and memory of the universe that time can never erase.
I love that. That's beautiful. And then do you have a specific author, poet, writer that inspired you along that journey?
Let me just go back and I'll tell you something. I'll share with you my favorite childhood poet was Chkhaidze. I was actually, when I was 8 years old, I began writing and composing my own poems. And I was in love with poetry. I was so inspired by poems that the only thing I wanted to do is to learn, memorize, and recite poems. And sometimes I was driving my parents crazy because that's the only thing I wanted to do. I kept reciting and reciting poems. But then as I grew up, life became busier and you know, honestly, I had to work, I had to take care of my children, and I just abandoned poetry and writing because it's not because I didn't love it, but I just questioned myself. What can I do with it? I cannot make a living with poetry. I have to work, I have to pay my bills. But one thing I'll tell you, Elise, that poetry never abandoned me. You know, Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. And I think for a long time I was searching for something that I didn't know what it was. But today I understand it's writing and poetry. But I don't think that poetry was seeking me. It was just simply following me along my journey and kept reminding me of itself and calling me, but I did not pay attention to it. And you know why? Sometimes I believe, and this is what I want to share with you and with everyone, that what is truly yours, it will never leave you. And what I mean by that, you know, when I was young, I couldn't recognize poetry. It is because I was not ready for it. That's what I believe. And sometimes when we are young, because every person has a gift. You come into this world with a gift. But sometimes some people discover their gifts when they're young, and some they discover them later. Either way is a blessing. But you know, what I want to share with you is that while you're searching for something, you might not know now, you may know, but in the meantime, it's important to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding and creating, and also try different things. Sometimes like learn new skills, learn new languages. Languages are fascinating. I love languages. And also challenge yourself. Things can be hard, but challenging is so important because one day when you discover your gift, whatever it is, then those skills and experiences will help you use that gift as a very powerful tool. And you asked me who is my favorite poet or if I have any favorite poem. Honestly, I don't have a favorite poet. I used to have, and when I was a child, it was Chkhaidze, but today I love so many poets and I love so many poems. And if we have time, I would love to actually recite a few poems.
Yeah, of course.
In different languages to show how deeply connected we all are.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Yes, I'd love to start. Yeah. Okay, let me think. All right, so first one, I'd love to recite a haiku by Matsuo Basho. Furuike ya kawazu tobikomu mizu no oto. In English, it means the old pond, a frog jumps in, sound of water. Haiku teaches us how to appreciate and notice, like simple moments in nature and in life. And the next poem, actually a few lines that I would love to share with you. It's going to be in my native language, in Georgian, from Without Love, written by Chkhaidze. Again, my favorite poet, Georgian poet. Usiqvarulot, mze arsupevs tsiskamarazze, siuar dakhkris, tqe ar gteba sasixarulot, usiqvarulot, ar arsebobs arts silamaze, arts uqvdaveba ar arsebobs, usiqvarulot. In these lines, the poet describes that without love, the sun does not shine in the chamber of the sky. The forest does not breathe with joy. Without love, nothing exists. Not beauty, not even immortality exists without love.
So beautiful.
Yes, and now, okay, I'll do another one. So the next poem is, the next poem I'd like to recite is in Farsi, written by Rumi, one of my favorite Persian mystic poets. در این خاک، در این مزرعه پاک، بجز مهر، بجز عشق، دیگر تا نکاریم. In this earth, in this pure field, let us plant nothing but the seeds of kindness and love. It's all about love, right? It's all about love. And poetry is all about love. To me, I'll tell you something. Poetry is not only personal expression, but it is a service to humanity. What I mean by this is poetry is one of the most powerful ways to help people connect across cultures and languages. Because when hearts connect, I believe that the world becomes a kinder and more compassionate place. And the next poem that I'd love to recite is my own poem, in English, of course.
Yeah, we'll end it off on the English.
English, let's do it. So, love is so pure and kind. It is always there. It never hides. We can find it. It lingers in the air. It leaves its trails without knowing how, when, or where. The only thing we need to do is choose love and share. And that's what I want to say, that, you know, while you are learning and growing and exploring, it's so important to choose love and share no matter what. And that's what I want to share with every student in the world.
That's beautiful. I'm taking so much inspiration through this. And
Oh, thank
you
you.
so much. I want to just thank you for your time today and all the poems that you've recited for me. And I'm like feeling so like surrounded by love and care and positivity right now.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I tried. Yes, that is so important, to have more love, and that we all need love today, everywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful advice.
Yeah, thank
so
you, Elise,
much.
for having me.
Yeah,
It was so
thank
wonderful
you.
being here.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go back to our program now.
Thank you, Russo. Thank you, Elise. Those poems were beautiful. Let's keep up this positivity with some brighter news. 2 cubs who lost their mom are receiving specialized care at a local wildlife facility.
They were brought to the Rheumatology San Diego Humane Society Ramona Wildlife Center after their mother had to be euthanized due to public safety concerns. The cubs are 2 to 3 months old and are given a lot of attention and resources.
The rehabilitation is important to interrupting a dangerous generational cycle of habituation and conflict.
That's all for us on Valley View News. I'm Elise Linares.
And I'm Leyva. For updates, follow our YouTube channel at Valley View News and our Instagram page at Valley View News CSUN. Thanks for watching.